just a few minutes ago.
Excusez-moi, est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais?
Excusez-moi,
Je ne comprends pas l'anglais.
Je comprends un peu le français.
Est-ce que vous êtes américain?
Oui.
Listen to it again.
Excusez-moi, est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais?
Non, je ne comprends pas l'anglais.
Je comprends un peu le français.
Est-ce que vous êtes américain?
Oui.
Oui.
Now imagine that you're the person sitting across from the French woman on a train. You want to begin a conversation. So, what do you say?
Excusez-moi.
Excusez-moi.
Excusez-moi, madame.
Excusez-moi, madame.
She doesn't answer. Try asking her if she understands.
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Ask her if she understands French.
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Est-ce que vous comprenez français?
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Maybe she didn't hear you. Now ask her if she understands English.
Est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais?
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 Non, monsieur.
Non, monsieur.
How does she tell you that she doesn't understand English?
Je ne comprends pas l'anglais.
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 How does she ask you if you understand French?
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Est-ce que vous comprenez français?
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français, monsieur?
Est-ce que vous comprenez français, monsieur?
Tell her that you understand a little.
Je comprends un peu.
Je comprends un peu.
Je comprends un peu.
Je comprends un peu.
How does she ask you if you're American?
Américain?
Est-ce que vous êtes 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 américain?
Tell her, yes, ma'am.
Oui, madame.
Oui, madame.
She'll ask you a question. Try to answer it truthfully.
Est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais, monsieur?
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais, monsieur?
Est-ce que vous comprenez, monsieur?
Oui, madame, je comprends l'anglais.
Oui, madame. Je comprends l'anglais.
She'll ask you another question. Answer it using the expression a little.
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Est-ce
que vous comprenez le français?
Français, un peu.
Je comprends un peu le français.
Je comprends un peu français.
Now, try this conversation again. Say, excuse me, ma'am.
Excusez-moi, madame.
Excusez-moi, madame.
How do you ask her if she understands?
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Ask her if she understands French.
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Est-ce que vous parlez français?
She indicates she does. Now ask her if she understands English.
Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais?
Non, monsieur.
Non, monsieur.
How does she tell you that she doesn't understand English?
Je ne comprends pas l'anglais.
Je comprends pas l'anglais.
How does she ask you if you understand French?
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Est-ce que vous comprenez français?
Tell her that you understand a little.
Je comprends un peu.
Je comprends un peu.
How does she ask you if you're American?
Est-ce que vous êtes américain?
Est-ce que vous êtes américain?
Tell her, yes, ma'am.
Oui, madame.
Oui, madame.
Answer her next two questions.
Est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais?
Est-ce que vous comprenez l'anglais?
Oui, je comprends l'anglais.
Je comprends l'anglais.
She'll ask you another question. Answer it using the expression a little.
Est-ce que vous comprenez le français?
Un peu.
Un peu.
Je comprends un peu le français.
Je comprends un peu français.
And that's true. Now you do understand French a little. Don't be concerned if you've not made every response correctly. All that you've learned here will be reviewed in future units. If you've mastered about 80% of the material in this lesson, you're ready to move on to the next. Otherwise, you should invest another half hour or so in doing this unit over again. And now a word about reading. Reading is a critical part of learning and understanding a new language, but it may be for different reasons than you think. If you're like most people, you learn to speak your native language well before you learn to read it. You learn reading later, and it is a different language skill which uses a different part of your brain. The symbols you see on a page, the alphabet, are a sort of shorthand for the sounds they represent. Inside those sounds is where meaning actually lives. Not only is reading a piece of a language puzzle, learning to read also gives you a chance to learn a language from a different direction than how you are learning to speak in the audio lessons. This combination approach will help you build a solid bridge toward fluency. You'll be able to isolate sounds in the spoken language that you couldn't quite catch through listening alone. And you'll begin to notice patterns in words within the language that will help you create a web of understanding in your mind. This is the natural progression Dr. Pimsleur followed in all of his language courses. By the end of Unit 2, you'll have acquired some of the sounds of your new language, and the reading lessons begin. Our approach is systematic. We'll walk you through the sounds of the alphabet, and you'll learn how to pronounce letters that look like English letters, but sound very different from what you are used to, and in some cases, letters which are totally new to you. You'll also learn the impact that a symbol, accent, or stress has on pronunciation. You won't find a list of the words or sentences taught in the audio lessons, but instead will take you to the source, sounds of individual letters and letter combinations, and you'll learn how these sounds play out in words and sentences. Don't be afraid to push yourself with your pronunciation and accent. Be dramatic and have fun. The closer you can get to the native speaker's pronunciation, the more authentic your experience will be, and the better you'll remember. Eventually, when you've mastered the sound system, you'll be able to sound out words on sight and then read for meaning. By the end of the first 30 lessons, you will be reading at the same level as you are speaking. You'll find a reading lesson at the end of each of the rest of the audio lessons in this course, starting with Unit 2. This is the end of Unit 1 and the end of today's lesson. Pimsleur courses work most effectively when the units are done consecutively and on a daily basis. For best results, please continue with the next unit tomorrow.